So I dished the hot goss to Brett just on Friday last week that Sydney Sweeney is allegedly a registered Republican in the state of Florida. And ever since then, the rumor was circulating online and got confirmed by BuzzFeed and Yahoo. They verified that Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican. And ever since people found out about this confirmed information, they have been losing their ever-loving minds. Now, first off, I just want to say I'm not surprised. Are you surprised?
Yes.
You're surprised by this?
I'm surprised she cares enough.
Okay. I'm just not surprised given the fact that she doesn't talk about politics and her upbringing. She was raised by a right-wing family in Idaho. Everyone remembers when she posted photos from her mother's birthday party. She has family members wearing Blue Lives Matter shirts and joke MAGA spoof hats, you know. She's family members with people who are Republican and was probably raised with those values in some sense. And she doesn't talk about politics. If there's any celebrity that doesn't talk about politics, you can pretty safely assume that they lean to the right at the very least. So I'm not shocked to learn this information about Sydney Sweeney, but a lot of people were because she first, you know, made a name for herself as an actress in a lot of indie prestige television drama shows that are mostly watched and enjoyed by leftists. I believe her first role that she initially got known for on TikTok mainly is in a show called Everything Sucks.
Yeah.
Remember that?
I didn't watch it.
And then she was on Euphoria, and then the rest is history. But yeah, this is huge news for Twitter stans everywhere who are deeply offended to learn.
It's not that I find it hard to believe that she carries, I guess, Republican values. What does that even mean in 2025?
That's what yeah.
But what shocks me enough is that she cares enough about it to register for a party. I actually giggle at the idea of her being like, I really got to get out there for the midterms.
My first question was, if you learn that a person is a Republican, what can you ascertain about what they believe? Really nothing.
It's
really nothing. But
if a Republican is just a Democrat going the speed limit, meaning that we're going to balloon the budget, we're going to ruin everything in the country just at a slightly slower pace, like what does that even mean in 2025? Sure. Like the Republican Party is fairly fractured right now anyways.
I agree. But on the flip side, you can ascertain more about a person from the demographic that they're in and the fact that they're a registered Republican. So a woman being a registered Republican, that communicates more. And also the fact that she is a woman in the 18 to 34 age range and a registered Republican, that does make her a statistical anomaly.
Yes, she is.
So that actually does communicate more about her worldview than just any random person being a registered Republican does.
I guess the thing that would fall in line for me would be that she's very business minded. So my guess is she's like that classic story of the person who's like, I'm socially liberal and fiscally conservative. She presented her parents with a 5-year business plan so that she could move to California and be an actor. She has strategically picked out all of the branding that she wants as she works towards becoming an influential producer as well as an actor. She seems to be very focused on making her money. And perhaps the idea is that she wants to be able to buy another mansion and just pay lower property taxes, or maybe she's just a huge fan of Ron DeSantis's off-the-rack Lucchese's. I don't know. But the idea that you would bother to register tells me that she cares enough about it to go beyond just skimming.
She probably voted for Trump is the reality. And she does have her primary residence in Florida, which speaks volumes as a Hollywood actress. And I think that she knew this information was probably going to get publicized eventually because, of course, these records are publicly available.
It seems like a mistake. If I'm speaking purely from a business perspective, for somebody who seems to be so calculated in her movements, in her choices, to choose the industry that she works in and then register as a Republican, which is going to draw the ire of plenty of people in that industry. It seems like a huge misstep to me, given the fact that she seems very, very good at navigating the waters of the business side of the industry. But there is very little, at least, unless somebody can tell me what it is, maybe I'm completely wrong here. There's very little to be gained in registering as a Republican for her industry, given the downsides of it. Like, is the idea here that being a registered Republican allows her to, is Florida one of the states that you have to be a registered party member to vote in the midterms, or to vote in the primaries? Like, do they have to, like, is that why she's doing this, so that she can vote in a primary?
To be clear, she registered as a Republican as of August 2024, which meant she probably registered to vote in order to vote for Trump.
So she registered, but she doesn't have to specify party.
But she did.
That's what I'm saying. Why?
Yeah,
it's a bad choice. I'm just saying
I don't know if it's a bad choice, because being a Trump supporter is just not, it doesn't make you the pariah that it once did. Yeah. And I think that she's reached a level of fame and notoriety at this point where it actually can't hamper her opportunities as much as it would have in the 2010s.
Yeah, but if they had lost the election, this gone the other way, it could have been very bad for her. Yeah. All I'm criticizing is whether it was a smart thing to say business. It's an open secret in Hollywood that if you don't talk about politics, you're very likely a conservative or a Republican, given whatever you think the term conservative means.
I am anxious to find out what she'll say when she inevitably is asked about this in a media interview. One person who is elated to find out that Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican is Trump himself. He was alerted to this news on the tarmac, and here's what he had to say.
Let's listen to this.
That who was?
Sydney Sweeney. She's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican?
Yes.
Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic. Okay, thank you very much.
He also followed this up on Truth Social saying, and he misspelled her name, oops.
That's even funnier
Sydney
somehow.
Sweeney, a registered Republican, has the hottest ad out there. It's for American Eagle, and the jeans are, quote, flying of the shelves. Go get him, Sydney. Also misspelled again. On the other side of the ledger, Jaguar did a stupid and seriously woke advertisement that is a disaster. The CEO just resigned. The company is in turmoil. Shouldn't they have learned a lesson from Bud Light? Also misspelled, which went woke and essentially destroyed in a short but very woke campaign the company. The market cap destruction has been unprecedented, billions of dollars lost. Or just look at woke singer Taylor Swift. Ever since I alerted the world as to what she was by saying on Truth that I can't stand her. So he's pitting Taylor Swift and Sydney Sweeney against each other, vying for his approval. I'm just so over it. It's like, why does this need to be discourse? Sydney Sweeney is a Republican. I don't think anyone should be jumping for joy about it, because she's an entertainer. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't communicate as much as people think about her actual views, her actual values, her beliefs. And now, like, we're seeing posts like this. Breaking, Sydney Sweeney appears in new Hey Dude ad wearing a tight one-piece swimsuit and a cowboy hat. Liberals' heads are going to explode, okay?
I mean, if that was true, it would have nothing to do with the tight outfit and the cowboy hat. It would have to do with her being white, I guess, because it's not like liberals have anything wrong with this.
You can take the dude out of the country. You can't take the country out of the dude.
What is Hey Dude Country?
Wish you were here.
It says that Hey Dude Country is an ever-expanding storytelling platform launched by the footwear brand Hey Dude in June 2025. So she's one of their ambassadors.
Liberals hating this would have everything to do with her being white, because if Beyonce did this ad campaign, they would call it awesome.
Right.
They would love that.
And then there was another video of Sydney Sweeney shooting at a shooting range called Terran Tactical, which is popular amongst a lot of covert conservatives in Hollywood.
A lot of the movies that get made today, the producers and the directors send them to Terran Tactical for firearms training.
Yes, but a lot of them also go there for hobby purposes.
Did not expect this.
The John Bernthal videos here and the Keanu Reeves videos here are all great.
Hey, eyes up here.
So maybe she's in this new movie called Americana, which
I don't know if that's what this is from.
maybe that's why she was there, is to train for that.
No, like,
for that
I mean, if
movie.
these clips are new, then it's likely for something that's going into production later.
Right.
So.
Maybe we don't know yet. Yeah. I also wanted to mention, since we didn't actually dedicate a discussion to this, that American Eagle responded and doubled down on the Sydney Sweeney ad, saying that it was and always is about the jeans. We'll continue to celebrate how everyone wears their American Eagle jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone. And a liberal responded to this saying Bud Light did a 15-second Instagram story with a trans person, they're referring to Dylan Mulvaney, one time, and conservatives boycotted it for a year. And I think this is being pointed out as a way to galvanize the left into a boycott against American Eagle, which is not going to actually happen.
I mean, you'd have to actually wear American Eagle beforehand to boycott it.
And they're trying to say, oh, look at how the conservatives overreacted to this one throwaway video of Dylan Mulvaney. It's so ridiculous. We should actually show as much fervor for our ideology as conservatives can when they boycotted Bud Light in 2022. And this isn't remotely similar, obviously, but there was then another post from Ollie London saying the woke era is over. These are the latest ad campaigns for Arby's, Dunkin', and American Eagle. And that was also featuring the actor from The Summer I Turned Pretty, where he was referencing genetics. And
the Arby's one was like the pro WNBA Sophie Cunningham or something. Like I showed that to Mary like last week, and she's like, "It's got to be fake, right?" I was like, "Yeah, who the hell would advertise Arby's? I mean, I would, but they're not going to pay me $1 million to advertise Arby's."
So another Twitter leftist said, "Ending the woke era. We have the gay guy from the Incest Brother series." They're referring to The Summer I Turned Pretty. Yeah. An actress from a show about doing heroin in high school, and the first girl who we don't quite know yet. And they're saying that conservatives are incorrect to mark this as a milestone in the battle against wokeness because all of the people listed are woke and they're not open conservatives. And I kind of agree with that take. I think that the overreaction and the desperation from the right to name something as a W is kind of giving me secondhand embarrassment. And there was a really poignant quote in the replies. It's a G.K. Chesterton quote. He said, "Even when the revolutionist might himself repent of his revolution, the traditionalist is already defending it as part of his tradition. Each new blunder of the progressive becomes instantly a legend of immemorial antiquity for the snob." And I think that's kind of the response that we're seeing from the right at the moment. Yeah. Until Sydney Sweeney comes out swinging for traditional values.
Which is never going to happen because she does not have traditional values.
Yeah.
Again, you can be a Republican and just want lower taxes and that's it. And that's all you care about.
Yeah.
You care about money.
And there are
which is
plenty
right
of
in line
Republicans
with
like that.
and that's fine. It's not like it matters. It's not like the Republicans are all that effective at that anyways. Really the left loses because they're so poisoned from within and awful. They don't know how to coalition build anymore because they hate men and they hate white people so much that they have no way of actually, formulating a coherent platform anymore. Like when Republicans lose, it's always their match to lose because they should win every time given how fractured the Democratic Party is these days. But like I was watching, I did a video over the weekend about Stephen A. Smith responding to Michelle Obama, who said that sports are like reality TV for men. And now, again, I'm kind of developing a theory on top of it, but what I'm saying is that Michelle Obama represents the Democratic Party of old, which is like what kind of formed out of the Obama administration, which became this man-hating, white people-hating, awful party of people. And Stephen A. Smith, who to his credit, I think is who they should be running in 2028, who's criticizing both sides and seems to have at least a front of logical thought behind him. And they're not going to go his direction. They're going to keep going the other direction because they don't know how to detach themselves from that ideology.
Right.
And Sydney Sweeney's belief system is very representative of what every Republican in Hollywood would have been 20 years ago. Probably socially liberal and fiscally conservative enough to vote on it.
We've seen a lot of examples of people on the left trying to course correct their rhetoric, and every time they attempt to do so, they get torn apart. I think a lot of Twitter stans are getting slapped in the face with the harsh reality that in real life, people don't end friendships and business relationships over politics.
No, I thought it was really funny. So there was the video of like them, Sydney Sweeney, Hunter Schafer, and all of these people at karaoke. There was another picture of like all of them but Sydney Sweeney, and they were just like at a table talking. And the quote in the post said like, you know, they're talking shit about Sydney Sweeney behind her back. They would love.
You wish.
They would love that. The Twitter person would love that to be true because they would love everybody else to be as miserable as they are.
The headline reads, Euphoria stars Sydney Sweeney, Jacob Elordi, Maud Apatow, and Hunter Schafer were spotted hanging out yesterday. And the first response I saw from a Twitter stan account said, why are they hanging out with Republican Sydney Sweeney? Because they're co-workers. They're co-workers, and they're probably also friends. And
I saw a
in real
picture-
life, these things aren't of cataclysmic importance.
Nope, not in the real world.
Especially when everyone involved can benefit from being associated with Sydney Sweeney because she's more famous than the rest of them.
Yep.
I also wanted to, before we close out this topic, show a video of Sydney Sweeney from back in 2021. I think this is a long time before she refined her public image and her brand, when for the most part her following was still female dominated and also left dominated. She was responding to people who were being mean to her online and the hate comments and the cyberbullies. This was her posture back then compared to now.
And I would never actually do this, like ever. But I think it's really important for people to see how words actually affect people. And I know everyone says like you can't read things and you shouldn't read things, but like I'm a fucking person. I'm just sitting here with my dog Tank watching HGTV wearing my Stuggy, like I don't know. People need to be nicer on social media. It's really fun.
Now she's gonna be like $100 bill going.
Yeah.
I have this new contract for $10 million.
She's clearly reconsidered how she approaches the online discourse, and for the most part, the best response is to not say anything at all. One of the responses said, when she was being compared to Zendaya and hailed as their Nazi princess, she was mute. But when those same men started calling her mid and overrated when she got buff for a movie no one watched, she made a whole speech on Instagram talking about how looks don't matter. I think this is just showing that Sydney Sweeney has put on a brave face, or she actually just has grown as a person and as an adult who can handle these attacks over time.
Yeah.
Compared to 2021, she is a totally different person, and I think she is wizened up to the amount of backlash that she receives as a public figure.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.